Well, hi, my friends. Good morning. I hope that you have a really good week. And I'm looking forward to getting the week started and getting Monday over with. Um, anyways, hoping that you're all doing well out there. I did one or two songs, I can't remember. And was going to do the Bell Arts this weekend, but found out that it was actually last weekend. So we missed it, but it's just the way that it goes sometimes. So anyway, got some good practice in, got some good music going, and so there's about maybe 8 songs now that we're working on, and we'll be able to bring that to them again maybe sometime in August. So anyway, in the meantime, I'm gonna keep trying to put some songs out there. I just did "Where Do the Children Play" by Cat Stevens, and so I just it's kind of like around the campfire type, playing. It's not professional, of course. It's my first time doing it, so I was listening to it today and I thought I could do better, So, but anyway, if you want, get a chance to listen to it. And on YouTube, I think you can listen to the whole Tea for the Tillerman album, which is just fabulous. I love the cover. There was something so magical about that cover. I remember either I got it or my brother got it. I can't remember. He was always getting some really cool albums when I was growing up. And that was one of them. So anyway, listen, I wanted to talk a little bit about boundaries and what you can do about the narcissist in your life. First of all, the number one key thing is if you can get away permanently, do it. It's been every advice that I've heard, even from sociopaths. Just if you can, great. You have to remember they have a mental illness. Okay, it's in the DSM. And they do not love or think the way that you and I do. They lust for people and for what those people can provide them as far as energy is concerned, or I would say another word could be validation of some sort, like a loving energy or negative energy. And depending upon where they are in the cycle with you, things will come up, either positive or negative. Anyway, for me, I never knew about boundaries or never felt the need to have them. I mean, I would tell certain people, no, this is what I believe, or no, that doesn't feel good, or that goes against what I believe. And, I might state my opinion. If somebody crosses, if they become too sexual, I will say something, of course, that kind of thing. So, but when you're dealing with a narcissist trying to have very little contact, then you have to become unattractive to that person by either staying away, avoiding contact with them if you can, by just saying very, very little to them, short answers, just facts, nothing that is of a personal nature, okay? And I'm dealing with somebody who is, I have relatives who are, I have friends who are, and so I have to, with each instance, have to decide, do I want to have time with this person or don't I? And I get to decide that, not them. So for a while, I just kind of let things just go, and I sort of went with the flow, and now I can't do that. So now I have to put my foot down and say no. No. And narcissists don't like that word and don't like to be told, because they think that you're beneath them. They think that they're God. They think that they are in charge of everything. They think that they're better than you. So their whole outlook is that you're a servant, you're a thing, you're an appliance, you're a tool. That's how they see you, okay? Just to serve them. And that's it. That's the extent. They don't know how to love. They don't have empathy for you. They can't, it's not there. They can get angry, they can get jealous, so it makes it kind of confusing. You're thinking, well, if they can do that, why can't they do the other? It just can't. They have disconnected with the little person that they were when they were abused. And that's where they're locked up. And they can't, so wherever they fall on the spectrum. Also cognitively, how intelligent are they when they started to disassociate and become the narcissist? It's just, for them, it's just a matter of fact. It's from sex to the daily thing. It just you are just an appliance, a tool. When you're speaking of sex, you're a warm vibrator. That's it. There's nothing, there's no feeling attached to it at all. Because there are master manipulators, because they are master thespians, if you will, actors, living in their own, they're the star of their own show, okay? They can conjure up feelings and make it look like they care, but inside they're empty. So you have to decide for boundaries. How much time are you going to be with? Now you have to remember also too that they will, depending where they are in their cycle with you, if you've been discarded, then you don't have to worry too much. You can just kind of live your life and you don't have to have anything to do with them. But if you're not completely and they're still hoovering you, still trying to get you back in, then you set the boundary, okay, with them. And expect that they will get angry because they don't like being told no. So, and a lot of the term cognitive dissonance is being thrown out a lot these days on YouTube. I would suggest that you look up what it means, how does it work, how it is a form of, I'll just give you an example. I smoke a lot of cigarettes. Cigarette smoking is not good for you, okay? Now, you can't have those two thoughts in your mind and continue being a smoker, okay? You have to say something else like, I am a smoker, smoking's not good for me, however, I do enjoy it, and I will quit sometime in the future. Okay, so you've kind of rationalized it. If you have been, if you're going along and you're just doing your work and you're just thinking and you get interrupted by another thought, this will throw off your thought process. And if it's done enough times, you become disoriented in your mind. If I'm the kind of person that's really attuned to what I'm doing, really concentrated on what I'm doing, and somebody interrupts me, it throws off my train of thought, or it can, depending on how disciplined you are. And they can throw in another thought at that time that might be a negative thought about you. And so you disassociate for a minute, and then you come back and you're thinking something different. And so it would be like cigarettes, I'm a smoker, cigarettes are bad for me, and the cat looks orange today. Okay? So that's cognitive dissonance. That's when you know that's a huge red flag that you have been messed with. Okay? Or you might just totally disassociate. And if you've been abused as an abused person, disassociation can happen to you if that abuser triggers that within you again. And you, if that was something that you did as a coping mechanism to save you, then that's something you need to, be aware of and avoid, being, with those people, and have very, very little to minimal contact with them, especially if you happen to have to work with a person like that. Of course, cut off all contact with that person as much as you possibly can, and don't have anything more to do with them, And if it's a family situation and for your own sanity and health, you do not want to be with them, then you just excuse yourself and go do something different, and just say, no, I'm not able to do that. And you don't have to give a reason why, because you have to love yourself first. And you have to put yourself first, always, in all things. And sometimes in your relationships, even when they're healthy relationships, you have to revisit those boundaries sometimes, Even if it's a new relationship that you haven't had for a while, sometimes you have to set those boundaries, with people. And it doesn't have to be my way or the highway, kind of a thing. It's a loving thing, saying, I really care about you, I want you in my life. These are the things that are going to help us to have a better relationship. And that's it, And if they can't do that, you have to be willing to let that person go from your life. You can't, if you don't want to change people. People are the way they are. So if they fit in your life, then great. But if they don't, then they don't, and you move on. It's not like you're going to lose anything. It's not like you're going to be without. You will always have people who care about you and love you in this world. But you also have to make the effort. You can't just sit back and expect that people are going to come to you. You have to make an effort to engage people and to bring them into your world as much as you feel comfortable, So some of these things are just, parents just don't teach their children how to do. I can't remember ever having this kind of a talk with my parents. Well, my dad was a narcissist, my mom was a victim, and so, I didn't learn these kinds of things, I had to learn along the way, and just pick things up. And so unfortunate, and it took me a while sometimes, it does, but getting the hang of it now, and so, again. And so with some people, I haven't had to do that with, it's just kind of an understood thing. But then, if things come up, then you talk about it. I always think it's healthy just to lay the ground rules out first. And they can be loose. They don't have to be rigid rules. And you can, be flexible, and that can be understood. So anyway, that's my thought, for today. And hope you have a great week. And check out the music when you can. Love you. Bye-bye.